You and I have joked about this over the years when, a few years ago when I said, I'll eat my hat if Bitcoin goes to 100,000. This year, I'm putting my hat out there that it could well get to 100,000. There you go. That's my big call for this year. From a charting perspective, I don't like the chart. It's as simple as that. It's an ugly chart.
All right, guys, hello and welcome. We've seen a very interesting situation on Bitcoin. First of all, the drop that we expected on Bitcoin, as you probably remember, as part of a large C-wave drop. I've mentioned this before in previous videos. So after that drop, then Bitcoin has bounced. We've seen a nice bounce so far in the price of Bitcoin. So far, so good. And in fact, Bitcoin seems to be playing out to the script that we covered before. We were expecting a bounce on Bitcoin as well. Again, so far, so good. But what I want to do is get my good friend and trader Charlie Burton's view on Bitcoin. He himself is deeply interested in crypto and Bitcoin in general. So I think it'll be good to get Charlie's view on Bitcoin and a brief mention of Ethereum as well in this video. All right, guys, join us. All right, guys, thank you very much indeed. Welcome. Charlie, thanks very much indeed for coming and being a guest on our show. How you been?
Oh, no, thanks for having me on. Yeah, very well. We're trying to see if we're going to see the sun here this summer in the UK, but we're getting little bits now. So it's not been the best of weather, is it?
Let's continue now to Bitcoin. Go ahead, Charlie. Pull out your chart of Bitcoin. Let's figure out what you think.
You can see this long-term previous channel, which marked off Bitcoin, some of the lows and some of the highs there back in 2021, and so I like to leave trend lines on because they come back into play. So we've got them from there.
People are going to say, and I want to just defend you on this, people are definitely going to say at this point, hey, Charlie, can you turn this into a logarithmic chart? No, actually, guys, what happens is on standard charts, it's better to use trend lines and regression channels or whatever channels on standard non-logarithmic charts. They're much more reliable because on logarithmic charts, trend lines and channels don't show properly. They don't show accurately. So if you're going to use channels and trend lines, I would suggest do the same thing Charlie is doing right there and use a non-logarithmic standard chart. Go ahead, sorry, Charlie.
So price then, it thought about it for a couple of weeks there before breaking out. And as you can see, we've come back down to it and successfully bouncing at the moment from that as well. So overall, we've had a golden cross in technical analysis, 50 period moving average crossing up through the 200. Confirming the upwards trend. Obviously, it's just a confirmation tool, but the moving averages are all facing in the right direction, obviously in support of price. So at the moment, then we paused here into lower trend channel line. We got to the mid channel line up here before coming back off, and here we are bouncing again off this lower level. So, but overall, the 50, the 200, they're all facing up in the right direction.
Yes.
Obviously, just confirming the fact that we're in a major bull market again. So until proven otherwise, and you've talked about these levels yourself, so unless there's a significant breakdown, probably significantly below 48,000, I have to be a bull. And so for me, and you and I have joked about this over the years when, a few years ago when I said, I'll eat my hat if Bitcoin goes to 100,000. This year, I'm putting my hat out there that it could well get to 100,000. There you go. That's my big call for this year. So
just to be clear, just to defend you on this point, you said if Bitcoin goes to 100K in 2023, you'll eat your hat.
Was it? Yeah, it was last year, right? Yeah, because a lot of people were expecting it when it was in 22, 23, and they
22 or 23, yeah.
And I said no, I don't think so. And so a lot of people were saying, "That's it, I'll get a hat ready for Charlie to eat."
Yeah. so you're saying you seem to be very confident that Bitcoin could actually make it all the way to new highs and 100K by the end.
Yeah, I mean, when I say 100K, if it goes to 90, I'll still have that. All right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's the big round number. So I'm looking for Bitcoin to go to new highs. Yes, significant new highs. This, I think the scope is there for that to happen this year. So,
in terms of when that could happen, I mean, seasonality for Bitcoin. Yeah, and seasonality for Bitcoin turns bullish round about same time as stock market, which I think is December, November. December seems to be a positive period for both stock markets and Bitcoin, probably. So would that be right by the end of the year? You're looking for those levels, new
by the
highs
end of the
to
year. No, not in the next month. No.
Okay.
So that's what I'm looking for. But one thing I have to make very clear: it doesn't matter if I'm wrong on it. It's a view, and if it goes up, I'll benefit from that because I'm a holder.
Sure.
But if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. And if if it goes up next year, great. And so, but yeah, I think I was talking about this with you earlier in the year. I saw the potential, maybe being the end of last year, the potential for Bitcoin to go up and retest its the highs, which it's done, and it made those new highs this year. But I am looking for a run, and so and watch this space on that one. If it gets nowhere near 100,000, I will eat my hat.
Sure. Thanks very much, Charlie. There was I saw a video some time ago from quite a famous Bitcoin trader and analyst. From a famous Bitcoin trader and investor. He said that if Bitcoin dropped to 50K, he would be a buyer. He was still looking to get long, accumulate. Is that your view as well? If Bitcoin were to drop to 50K, if it drops to 50K.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it doesn't change the view. Pulling back into that 50,000 zone, it's a good technical level down there as well. So technically, it's pulled back a bit here, but 50,000 is just another good technical zone. So it would take a serious drop for me to change my view on it. Yeah.
Interesting. By the way, I've made my own views before in previous videos and regards Bitcoin and the long-term path. So I'd much rather listen to what Charlie has to say.
Did you want to look at Ethereum?
Yeah, let's go to Ethereum. Thanks very much.
I mean, it's a very similar sort of overall picture. So again, I've got the weekly chart on here. So there's not a lot more I can add because I'm going to take the same view. The Ethereum's had, it's in a bull market. Since bottoming out in 2022, it's been rising. It's making higher highs, higher lows. Overall, the moving averages are all scooping up underneath. Price action is positive. So much like Bitcoin, I'm a bull on it. I don't trade this. I don't have any holdings in this, so I don't have any attachment to it as such. But it's generally tracking what Bitcoin's doing, and so I would like to see Ethereum test those highs of 2021.
Charlie, would you do me a favor, just quickly have a look at XRP? So XRP has had a big bounce back to the averages by the looks of it.
Yeah, on the weekly there. So if we take that down to the daily chart, we can really see it, get a sense of the run that it's all of a sudden just recently had.
Yeah, just to mention, XRP dropped to. What was that low that it dropped down to recently? So what's your view overall on this? I mean, I should say that
it hasn't rubbish.
Yeah, it looks rubbish.
That's my technical view.
I should say that we got a lot of people who completely in love with XRP. So I'm sure they'll love that sentiment.
I'm looking at it as a neutral. Right, it's two things. I'm looking at it as a neutral, so I don't care.
Sure, yeah, exactly.
I have no vested interest in it.
Sure.
And also I'm only looking at it from a technical perspective. So a lot of your followers will be looking at it because they understand a lot more of what's going on with XRP itself from a fundamental perspective. So from a charting perspective, I don't like the chart. It's as simple as that. It's an ugly chart. There's not really anything to say at the moment.
I should just say that from people who may be asking, XRP did not break the support level that I mentioned before. 0.35, I think it was 0.3735 was a key support level. We haven't broken it. So the bearish perspective or the bearish outlook for XRP has not triggered because XRP has not broken the key support levels I mentioned in the previous video, which I think was 0.37 or 0.35. Because we did not break those levels, nothing has happened on XRP to increase the likelihood of a bearish perspective or outlook on this chart as yet. We shall see. But it hasn't broken resistance either. It hasn't broken resistance near the 0.63, 0.75 levels either. Anyway, Charlie, go ahead, take it away. So you're saying that the technical side of this still doesn't look good despite the bounce. Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that I have. And I'm just looking at it on the weekly chart here, because of the length of time that it's been consolidating. It's made it quite an ugly chart. However, I've just quickly put a trend line on across from these highs in 2021, not the absolute. I could put one up there as well. And so, yes, if it could break through there, as you just said, once it gets well into the 60s, that will be breaking that trend line there. That might make it a little bit more attractive then. So at the moment it's not, but it would. Like I always say, what would it take to get me interested in it and to make me think, oh, that's a good looking chart now? Well, that's what it would take. A strong close and successive closes through that trend line, which you've just mentioned, 63 or so. I think actually that trend line comes in at the moment, around about 64 or so. So
I would also say, in order for me to adopt a bullish view on XRP, which I don't have at the moment, but it has to break those, those prior highs which it made in. You see those? Two regular tops right there. What is that level approximately? I think 75, 0.75.
Yes, well into the 70s. So 75. Roughly.
I would need to see a follow through above those levels before I can adopt a long-term bullish view, which I don't have at the moment.
It's not attractive at the moment, but it's not to say it couldn't become attractive at some point.
And obviously, if it falls below the lows it made recently. If it falls below the lows it made, recently, what about that? What do you think?
0.3. So, I mean, I'm thinking of other things.
You mean 30 cents? Yeah, sure.
So these lows down here from 2022, would then become vulnerable to a reattack of those.
All right, thanks. So it's still a very messy chart, nothing very clear. Guys, make sure you go ahead and sign up and try out Charlie's trading service, charlieburtontrading.com/LTGold. When you go on that link, please also apply this promo code LTGold, where basically the price drops to only £1, approximately $1.30, for about 30 days, 1 month. Go ahead and check it out. I think it's definitely something you'll enjoy, you'll like. And Charlie will explain in a few minutes what's involved, what you get in that service. Go ahead in the description, click on it, and apply the promo code LTGold to get your discount. Notice the price drops to £1 or $1.30 for 30 days. Charlie, tell us more about what's involved, what people can get as part of your service.
Well, in that, it's a community. So I have an online trading room, and I do sessions every day of the week, 5 days of the week, Monday to Friday. We cover training sessions, technical sessions, news-based sessions when there's economic releases. And I've got very senior traders as well, with anything up to 35 years trading experience in my community. So it's a serious community for people who want to trade. We do a lot of trading on FX, but we do look at obviously the stock indices, and we look at the other asset classes as well. But it's first and foremost FX, but then stock indices, gold, silver, oil. We're looking at all the major asset classes. But it's great if you want to be part of a community where we're analyzing day in, day out, and training on all the little technical aspects of the way that I approach the markets. Then check it out.
Charlie, I've seen what you do in your trading service, and I think it's fantastic. And having known you for nearly 20 years now, guys, I think that if there's one person I would deeply trust when it comes to trading and chart analysis, it is definitely Charlie Burton. That is why we have him on, both in our YouTube videos and in our member videos. So again, if you haven't yet tried Charlie's service, I would definitely suggest it. Take it for a test drive. I think you'll find it's definitely worth it. And again, the link for you guys in the description, charlieburtontrading.com/LTGold. Again, apply the promo code LTGold and you get the discount to £1 or $1.30 approximately there. Thanks very much, Charlie. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.